that's had a big major toll. Losing friends and seeing all the ODs, and I've OD'd a couple times, and it's scary, man. It's really scary. You don't realize how evil the drug is until you see it. See people overdose or start losing friends, and like it's an ugly, ugly, ugly disease. And the sad thing is every time I've seen someone OD, immediately after I'm like, okay, it's my turn. You know, that's the dope that I want. I want to get on that level. Because when you OD, you don't know that you OD'd until someone tells you. And half the time, like, if I see someone OD, I'll have someone videotape it while me and another guy are resuscitating him. Just so that way when they come back, you can show them. Because half the time, they're like, no, I didn't. Shut up. Give me the dough. And it's sad.
No, I definitely can relate to that. And, you know, that feeling when I OD'd, you know, waking up with, you know, the last thing I remember is doing the shot and then waking up surrounded by paramedics and firefighters. And I'm really glad to hear that you had Narcan on hand, you know, because I think so many addicts don't take that extra step of responsibility to, you know, I mean, there's no point in talking about recovery if addicts don't survive long enough to make it to that point. So I'm really glad to hear that you had taken that step with it.
Yeah, at the end, all we were using was fentanyl, and fentanyl that's the devil right there. I mean, especially people that are heavy on the heroin, they think they can handle it more than I'd say about 70% of the time, 75% of the time they OD right there. And I mean, and the scary thing about fentanyl is I've shot someone with Narcan 8 times and they just barely woke up. There were some times where I didn't have Narcan. And there's this one time where one of my buddies, he was sitting in the passenger seat of my car, and I didn't want to give him any fentanyl. He was really dope sick, and I was like, fine, if you do it, like, you're going to take like a tiny hit with me. He ends up roping it, taking a fat hit, and I'm like, dude, why did you do that? And he instantly just turned blue, slumped over, and it was just me and him in the car. And I'm trying to pull over. He's turning all blue, so I pull over, check his heart, and I keep breathing him mouth to mouth. And he doesn't have health insurance, so I'm avoiding calling 911. So I'm like constantly giving him mouth to mouth, keeping my hand on the pulse. I put a sub under his tongue, and constantly people are like looking at me, calling the cops. So I'm having to drive to another spot and then give him mouth to mouth. And I'm trying to drive to the ER, and that's the insanity too, right? Like, why should a hospital bill matter? But I felt like I've seen enough people OD. I knew what to do, and he ended up being okay. But still, like, thinking back on the insanity of that, it's just crazy.
Yeah, that's hectic, man. It's super gnarly. The limits that drugs push us to.